Aloha and welcome to part 3 of our Learn and Burn session with Uncle Jonny of Uncle Jonny's Hot Sauce, professional musician, and how to become one yourself. Enjoy.
Diversify your skill set on your given instrument. I mean, you could even learn more than one instrument. I didn't, but I always wish I could play piano, because it's always helpful to have a different point of view rather
Why?
than just your main instrument. Well, because for instance, the trumpet is just a solo instrument, so it's got can only play one note at a time. Yeah, when you're playing piano, you have to visualize it like chords, and this really opens up the your whole conception of music, and it's really much different. So I'd say this, and also don't be a snob with what kind of music you're. I mean, it's okay to have preferences and like, but don't look down on other kinds of music, and because you never know, these people that you're uh, looking down on could be trying or won't give you a job one day when they're yeah yeah
I think that's a fair point our boy has made over there. Uh, don't forget, being a musician is a job. You have to learn some stuff and work.
yes, yes, of
All right,
course.
I will quote my friend Uncle Johnny up there, who said to me sometime years ago, "I get to play for a job. That's what I get to do." That's what he said. Playing is my job. But listen
But
to that voice. It's a serious job, you know? It's a job.
yes, of course, and it's like anything. um once you take that leap from having it be your hobby, something you do for fun, and then it become you are a professional musician, and it's what you do for work, then there's like a whole nother level of stress that comes with it, because this isn't just what I do for fun. This is what I do that makes me money, so my kid can eat, and it's and also it's like directly related to like how good I am at making a pretty sound come out of a piece of metal tubing, and it's completely ridiculous. And uh,
How good I
so
am at making a pretty sound come out of a piece of metal tubing. I've never heard anyone describe what I would call a really beautiful art form in quite such. And what's the right word I'm looking for there? But that's kind of an ugly way to put it. It's like a beautiful. It's beautiful ugly. It's
yeah,
brutalist ugly. That particular statement, man.
but
What's it?
I
What's it?
mean,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, no, please.
The- uh, that does come with these pressures, and it's not easy, and because another thing I would say is, if you're young, you're starting out, to start get a bit of thick skin, because you have to deal with a lot of disappointment and rejection, and you're always getting people telling you no, that they don't want to have your band at the club, or we don't gonna play your CD on this radio, or it's it's endless, or you don't get the job, you don't get and if you get really beat up about these disappointments, then it's going to be very difficult. So you got to develop a thick skin, and not and don't take things personally, like if you're not picked for a job, or it is what it is, and you move forward and you keep on practicing. And I've sort of I play with a big band, but I'm not like I'm successful in a way where I've been able to, like I said, have a career for 20 years and have just play music, and haven't had to really have a side job. When I first moved to Düsseldorf, I was flipping burgers at a restaurant for a little while, and this was great, and it was a nice little restaurant. Hey Fabian, shout out.
Nice.
He's still a friend, and he's actually given me some help with Uncle Johnny's. I send him stuff, and he's really quite big in the restaurant and food industry now, and so it's a good guy to know. And so even things like that would maybe turn into something else later, but
I wonder for you, like, I know a lot of people have an unrealistic vision in their head of working in the arts. I know it because I worked in the arts myself, and everyone had this vision in their head that what I was doing was a very glamorous and sex and drugs and rock and roll kind of a thing. There was a certain amount of sex and drugs and rock and roll, but then an end effect in the end. There was a lot of sitting around and looking in corners and scratching my ass, and that was about how glamorous that was, Yeah.
Like,
but then,
backstage,
if you had to, yeah.
The backstage of rock shows, everyone is always thinking it's like that sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and it's really boring.
Yeah.
It's really boring.
These days we're our company, the 420 Chilli company now, running catering, and we're catering a lot for musicians backstage and so on. And I could honestly say the amount of sitting on a sofa and staring in the corner, that is basically what that means, being a musician waiting backstage. It's not a lot of doing lines of coke out of the butt cheeks of 18-year-olds. It really isn't. There's swap the coke for the corner of the room, swap the butt cheeks of the 18-year-old for an old fucked up sofa, and stick the musician on top of that sofa staring into that corner. Then you got about what I've seen. But for you, what's the most, so tell the lovely people, what's the most annoying, but also what's the most fun thing that they can look forward to if they wish to become a professional musician?
Annoying and difficult would have to be the insecurity of income, because it's month to month. It can be like right now I'm doing okay because I have gigs and I'm on tour with the Broilers, and so things are good. But next month there could be nothing. They could like Corona. I was planning a really good year. Everything looked great, and then literally overnight, all the gigs for the rest of the year were canceled, and it was just like, then you realize like how I don't want to say insignificant, but how fragile my career choice was. It was just like,
yeah, and you also, I mean, I can say this myself, during that time frame, I knew our dear boy, Uncle Johnny here, and I watched him grow more and more worried and stressed through Corona. And with that lovely, lustrous mop of black hair you can see right there, the more he would scratch his head and pull up bits of his fucking scalp into his hair, I would watch him over the Corona phase, and I thought he had dandruff, but it wasn't dandruff at all. It was just him scratching his head and worrying all the time. And so you've got that ahead of you, young professional musicians. And so the most fun.
the most fun thing is connecting with other musicians that you might not have thought to play with before. I mean, and meeting other guys and having guys and girls and having this thing is what we're all looking for. It's like a connection that you can have without speaking, like when you're playing and everything is clicking and you kind of you just like make eye contact and you can communicate things without saying anything. And it's really, this is the most fun thing. It's still playing the music is the most fun thing. Yeah, that's the best part. I mean, because when it comes down to it, that's why I started playing, is because I loved doing it. And if one good thing that came out of Corona is that actually it got me back to this feeling, because I still was in the practice room every day during Corona, and not because I had gigs or anything to practice for. You know, usually before Corona, I would go in the practice room every day, and because I had to practice this song for this band to get it ready and do this, and I would get so frustrated and be like angry, and but then during Corona, I just went in there just because I love to play the trumpet, and that's it. And I didn't have to do anything special or learn any songs, and I sort of regained this, like, you know, childlike love for playing music due to this awful situation. And you know, that's slowly dwindling away now that I'm back to work. And the old joke is, how do you get a musician to complain? And it's give him a gig.
Oh,
Yeah.
they always say the best things in life begin and end with a joke. I think that's a wonderful round place for us to be. I might do a little bit of a hit to say goodbye to the lovely people as well. Let me do a little hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this one
Well,
again. This was.
I love it. Well, boys
Look
and
at that
girls out
pour.
there.
Look at that pour. Look at that pour. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Well, I'd say from my boy up there, from me, we'll say cheers and ciao for now. Cheers, Uncle Johnny.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, everybody.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'm glad that yours is beautiful, because mine feels like my mouth is being turned into an anus. It's not good. Oh, ow. Oh. Not an anus on a good day, may I add. Oh, Jesus, fuck. Dude.